the people further down the river. So they blew the levees, and this is what happened to the land of small farmers all around that region, destroyed. 3 weeks later, letters arrive from the government offering to buy the land through the US Corps of Engineers, or Army of Engineers. The Army Corps of Engineers, what do they call it? And the other thing they're doing is taking out freeway exits to rural communities, which used to be very helpful economically. And what they're doing instead is putting these corporation kind of food centres in the middle of bloody nowhere, which helps basically no one. And these communities, these rural communities, are dying, and people are leaving, and they're taking the bloody land over. They are taking out dams so that people can't farm anymore. They are destroying or closing rural roads, or they are on a massive scale tarmac from roads and leaving them as gravel for people to live in rural communities. It's all being done on purpose. And this bloke, you know, when he came in, Cameron, never mentioned it in the election, and then suddenly announces he wants to sell off all the forests of Britain, all the state forests. That's Agenda 21. Now, because the people responded, he had to take a step back, but he'll still go on trying to do it, if not en masse, then in little bits. And this big society, it's just Agenda bloody 21. And what's happening in this country? Small farmers are going out of business on a fantastic bloody scale. Getting them off the land, that's the bloody idea. And where do they want to put them in? Human settlement zones. They want this kind of in by 2050, 2060. And it's the world of the Hunger Games. They want, this is in their bloody documents, they want to pack people together in high, basically, prison cell size living space. So all the people, those that they don't want to cull, are in one place and pages of Hunger Games, that is. This is Michael Bloomberg, Mayor of New York, massive insider in all this and frontman. And he has just announced in the last few months the first phase of Agenda 21, he doesn't call it that, of course, building of 165,000 units in absolutely the specification and the way that they are going to be built and arranged is classic Agenda 21. And the space that these apartments will cover for each person or family is between these two yellow lines. They are 10 feet by 30 bloody feet. Classic Agenda 21. Building regulations are being changed in places like California to stop, to reduce the amount of land that is used to build buildings. And by 2020, this directive of the European Union says that all new building must use nearly zero energy by 2020. And that means massive changes in the structure and nature of human society and living space. And this is the Archon world of these Archon bloodlines that I talked about. No creativity. Humans have creativity. They have to use human creativity. They don't have it. And here, look at that. Here are some of the bloody houses that they're talking about for people. Talk about bloody uninspired. And then one of the things that was emphasized in the Hunger Games was the high-speed train that took the competitors from the sectors to the capital for this, you know, kill to the death games. And high-speed train networks are all part of Agenda 21. They want that to be the main source because they want an end of people and cars and stuff like that, except there. But they want high-speed trains to be the prime source of or form of transport. And interestingly, you know, here's the regions that they want under Agenda 21 in America, everyone else off the land in all these other places. And, you know, once the plane arrived, American trains just disappeared you know, basically hardly anyone used them. It was all aircraft. Well, suddenly, out of nowhere, Obama announced a massive building program, phased building program, for high-speed train networks in America. And when you look at where he wants to build them, it's like placing them over a map of the Agenda 21 regions of America. And then, of course, out of nowhere, Cameron announced this year the biggest railway building program since Victorian times with high-speed stuff. And these high-speed networks are happening all over Europe. And I tell you this, I know this for a fact, that at least some, probably many, of the people apparently working for European train companies orchestrating this high-speed network they're building don't work for train companies, they work for bloody NATO, that is doing the orchestrating. Get them off the land, well, get them off the land through weather manipulation. Time now. This is HAARP, the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Project in Alaska, now connected to many other similar things around the world. In short, it bounces radio waves of high power off the atmosphere in the higher atmosphere, bounces them back to Earth, and can do many, many things, including create earthquakes and, piece of cake, manipulate the weather. One of the telltale signs of an earthquake created artificially appears to be these colored lights that appear in the sky, or colored images in the sky, which precede an earthquake. And this guy, Professor Kosuke Haki, expert in GPS signals, he said in the mainstream media, 1 hour before an earthquake in Japan and the one in Chile in 2002, there were more electrons coming through the ionosphere. This is a very strange phenomenon. Well, not if you're dealing with technology that not only bounces radio waves off the ionosphere, but often punches holes in the ionosphere when it's doing it. And even in the